Hi everyone, my name is Samia and this is my YouTube channel where I'll be talking about topics related to self-development and faith. So if that is something that is really important to you, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Today's topic is about how to discover your God-given talent. We all have talents, and every one of us has something that is within them, something that they only have, something that makes them unique, something that gives them that sense of fulfillment in life. And I know in the beginning, once you really don't know what that thing is, you're confused because you look at maybe when you hear other people saying, use your talents, use your gifts, use it to follow your passions in life and purpose. But what if you're in that stage where you really don't know what you're good at? You don't know what it is that God has given you. And one of God's names is the bestower, and it's in Arabic it's called AlWahab. And what the bestower does is that he gives everybody a gift, and that gift is the skill that they have, it's the talents that they have that's within them, it's what they're able and capable to do. Like for example, someone that is really creative and that can make amazing paintings, they can draw. Someone else maybe is good with graphic design, so they have an eye for design and decoration and how to match different types of colors and patterns. Someone else might actually be really good at writing and they're really able to get the perfect way to describe a scenario through words. Someone else might be really good at technology. They might be really good with computers. They might be really good with programming. They're really good with software. They're really good with fixing computers, maybe from a really young age. So the question is, how do you discover your God-given talent if you have no idea what that is? And I'm going to give you 4 ways to discover your given talent. Number 1 is know your strengths. What's something you've liked as a kid? And I'll give you these like list of questions for you to think about in order to know your strengths and what you're good at. Ask yourself these questions. What's something you've liked as a kid? What's something you really liked that maybe you liked really drawing, maybe you liked teaching, and you'll notice these patterns of things you like to do. For example, maybe you liked ordering your little siblings around as a kid and you kept telling them, have a seat there, don't move, don't do this. So that might actually be an indicator that you might have leadership skills, or you might have some type of a leadership within you because you're leaning towards leading other people. Maybe you're the type of kid that would let kids let pretend that there are kids sitting and you're making it seem as if you're teaching them and write on the board. And I used to do that. I used to pretend that there were people and I was talking to them as a kid, and I would write on the wall. On actually it wasn't a wall, but it was like a door where I'll just write on a chalk and I'll just pretend that I'm actually teaching a class. So that was one thing I did as a kid. Maybe the thing that you actually were doing as a kid, maybe you love children and you like to play, and maybe you're playing with dolls or certain things. You just maybe you like games so much. So find out what's that thing you liked as a kid, and if you don't remember, maybe ask your parents. If you don't remember, ask the people that were seeing you grow up. Maybe your parents, maybe your siblings, if you have older siblings, maybe if your relatives. You can ask anybody that was around you growing up as a kid and ask them like, what did I like at when I was a kid? The second way to know what your strengths are is, what do people come to you for advice? What's something that people come to you for advice for, in terms of, do they have problems in their families that they come to you to advice for you? Maybe do they have some type of like computer issues that they come to you, the first person they remember is you, and you're fixing their own computers? Is this something related to finances? Maybe some of you might be really good with money, so maybe someone is coming to you for how to budget or how to plan or how to save. And that's something your people come to you for advice. So that's actually strength. It's an area of strength of yours. The third way to know your strengths is what's something that passes time while you're doing it. And by that I mean, what's something that when you're so engrossed in it, you're so eh, engrossed in it that you literally time flies by and you don't feel it. You're sitting, let's say, painting, and then maybe 4 hours have passed and you literally have paid no attention. All of a sudden you notice it's 4 hours. You've been so engrossed in this. This is something you're really good at. This is something that's strength. This is an area of strength. So this is something you should capitalize on, you should use, and this is how you know your strength. The second point and the second way to discover your God-given talent is put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. And I know that's a little bit strange, because how would that get you to a place of discovering your talents? But when you put yourself in a stressful situation, or a situation that requires a new you or a new aspect of you, you realize that you might get to know a part of yourself that you did not know before. Maybe you go through some type of a crisis and you notice yourself, you're able to come up with solutions and that are out of the box. So maybe that's a skill that you realize that you have. You're a problem solver. Maybe you realize you have something related to, maybe you're going through some financial difficulty and you realize you're resourceful in terms of finances, that you're able to come up with a very smart way or an efficient way to budget your finances, even though you're going to a really difficult financial problem. Maybe you maybe you're really good with time management skills, that even in such a crisis, you're not necessarily crisis, but maybe you're going through a very hectic schedule and you realize that you're able to use that time management skills that you have to your advantage. So put yourself in uncomfortable situation. It doesn't have to be so stressful that you literally don't know what to do, but in those kinds of tough situations, it gets somehow that potential that's inside of you. And I'll speak of a story, a personal story that I personally experienced is when I was working at a company. There was they were the that company specifically. I was going through so much stress because that job required so much. I was doing a lot of things. I was doing a lot of different things together, whether it's like social media or dealing with customers and doing like things related to maybe like interviewing. I was doing a whole bunch of things. And even though I was so stressed and at some point I was complaining, I was thinking like I have to do all these things all at once and I'm not and I don't have like and I'm not able I don't have that type of like the energy to be able to do it all at once, because at some point you start burning out. I realized at that time, at that moment where I was in that stressful situation, I realized that I had so much potential in me, and that job brought out that potential that was buried inside of me that I wasn't really aware of yet. And it took that type of situation and that type of environment and being pushed to the limit to realize my own potential and what I'm capable of, and to also notice that actually I'm capable of a lot more things than I thought I was capable of. So or even other people tell me like I'm capable of. So sometimes these kinds of situations bring out, it might also bring out the worst in you, but it has the chance to bring out that potential, that God-given talent. So the third way to discover your God-given talent is work for someone to gain a skill set. And if I don't know who is actually listening to this, but if let's say this is if you don't have any experience, this might be normal that you don't know what your gifts are. And working for someone gives you a new type of skill set. And once you learn those skills, you kind of identify what you're good at. You identify things that your areas of strengths, which goes back to the first point. You realize what is the thing that you're actually like, the thing that brings out the thing that you were able to do with each, and the things that you're able to do without any effort on your end, because it comes easy to. And I'll give an example to this. You might see two people that are friends, and maybe one person is good at finance and anything related to calculations, and they can actually have that type of structure. And another person is not good in that area, another friend, the other friend, but they have another skill. They may be able to see things from a different angle. Maybe they have a vision, maybe they're visionary. So they have a way of seeing things from the on a longer term. They're able to like strategically move. And that doesn't mean anyone is better than the other. It just means that they both have different skill sets. They both have different areas or things that they're good at. Now, if you look at both of them, their skill set they're able to use it in their own jobs, and when they're working, they're using the skill set, using what they're basically good at. Even if they're both, let's say, working at accounting, both of them might be working exactly the same, but they both have a different way of thinking. They both have a different perspective. They both have different skill sets, and it means that also their efficiency and the productivity and the result that comes out is going to be different for both of them. So the only way you'll realize what you're actually talented in, what your talent is to work for someone and you to gain a skill set, and that skill set develops, and then maybe you add other skill set, and then it leads to you getting to know more talents that you have. And the fourth point on how to discover your God-given talent is notice what other people mention you're good at. What do people talk about that you're really good at? Do people say maybe you're good with people? Or do the people say, oh, you're a good communicator? Maybe people say, oh, you're really good at teaching people. Maybe people say, oh, you have really beautiful designs. You know how to draw. You have a good way of convincing people. Just notice and look for those clues. What are people around you saying? Maybe your friends, your coworkers, your family members, your relatives, people around you. What are they saying that you're good at? And observe that and note that down. So the more you actually have little things that people keep saying, specifically if it's, let's say, one skill or one talent, and let's say teaching. In my case, people were telling me that I'm good at teaching, and that was something I was being told. I've been told by other people, my own family members. And obviously in the beginning I didn't really like look at it, because I was thinking, yeah, like it wasn't something I was paying attention to, but it was something that was recurring over and over. And that could be a skill set that you might not even pay attention to, because you're not really like thinking about it, but actually people keep repeating it over and over. So just observe and note down. Just remember that AlWahab, the bestower, has put talents within you that makes you unique. He has put talents within you that makes you different than anyone else. So believe in him and believe in your own ability and the gift God gave you.